church, where it's cool, isn't it? Huh? It's cool. It's cool everywhere. Hey, the AC broke this week, but we got it fixed. Aren't you glad? Amen? Yeah. I see a lot of people who was broken, so they didn't come today. But you're here. Good move. Good move. I'm glad you're here today. Calvary, a place for you. It's a place for you. Where else are you going to be? It's a funny thing about that. Where else will you be today? What's so important in your life you need to be someplace? There are some important places you need to be, you know. Doctors and nurses might need to be in the hospital. I get it, right? Turns out some people are going to the beach later, but they came to church first. Amen? Because, you know, the ocean will be there later too, turns out. But I'm glad that you're here today. The teens are all away today. They're at Dan and Melissa's for breakfast in the Bible. So they're over there wrecking Dan and Melissa's house. Isn't that good? It really is. But I'm glad you're here today, a place for you. And I want to put these couple of verses up here that are here. This is that we're reading these Friday night at prayer. Rebecca brought these up. She says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. That's a real good idea. Okay? In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. And that is going to be one of the main points of our message today. My message is all basically written, so this verse really isn't in it. Okay, it's going to close the message. But we need to allow God to direct our paths. Very interesting things to keep in our minds. But having said that, let's do something even better. Let's stand up and sing songs. Let's praise with the praise team.
Come thou Father, every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy, never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixing on it, mount of God's redeeming love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by help I come, and I hope by thy God pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God, he to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily am constrained to be. Let thy grace, Lord, like a fetter, bind me wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above.
Sorry. Man.
all your goodness. Satisfy us with your love. The wrath of God poured out for sin on Jesus crucified. Consider him our hiding place, our shelter is alive. Because he lived and died for us. When the sun comes up, satisfy us before the day has passed us by, before our hearts forget all your goodness. Satisfy us with your love. Teach us, Lord, to number our days on earth. Give us more wisdom in the secret heart as you display amazing grace through Jesus Christ for us. Teach us, Lord, to number our days on earth. Give us more wisdom in the secret heart as you display amazing grace through Jesus Christ for us. When the sun comes up, satisfy us before the day has passed us by, before our hearts forget all your goodness. Satisfy us with your love. When the sun comes up, satisfy us before the day has passed us by, before our hearts give up. Spirit, fill us. Satisfy us with your love. Satisfy us with your love.
Amen. Thank you. To be satisfied with the love of God is an amazing thought. It's an amazing thing, right? Are we satisfied? I mean, we look for satisfaction all the time, right? We sort of are, right? It's like, and I don't mean like the Mick Jagger, I can't get no satisfaction, okay? Because Mick never could. Sick Mick can't. Because he's looking for satisfaction from this world. And the world will never satisfy you. It'll feel good. There's some great comfort to have some good times, but you won't be satisfied. So if you can stand, please remain standing. If you can't, sit down. I have a couple of verses for you. I'm reading the verses today because, you know, there's not many. So I can handle 2 verses. What do you think? I can handle that, sort of. We're in Matthew chapter 7. And folks, we are in the Sermon on the Mount. This is Matthew 5 to Matthew 7. This amazing, provocative sermon that Jesus gave. It's incredible. You can read this and reread this in 20 to 25 minutes. Read it slow. It'll change your life. It really will. Because it says here, we're only going to do 2 verses today, going short. These 2 verses I could go on for 12 hours. You're only going to get 2 hours. Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go by it, going by it. Because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way that leads to life, and there are few who find it. You will know them by their fruits. It's an incredible couple of verses. It really is. And we're going to look at those today. But before we do that, we're going to let these children escape downstairs. Okay? They're escaping downstairs. And give each other, notice who's not here today, and text them, say, I missed you today. Say hi to each other and grab a seat, okay? You know, you can text Brother James. Brother James is home. He's recovering from his surgery this week. You can text Sister Ruth, see how she's doing. Okay? You can stop up and see him. But sometimes after someone has an operation, they just need to chill. Okay? Not a lot of visitors, but you can do that if you want. But that text we just read talked about a couple of gates, didn't it? A couple of gates we'd go through. A broad one and a narrow one. And I thought, well, the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a pretty cool bridge, isn't it? It's sort of like it's a famous bridge in the world. Seems like everyone knows about the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't know. It's there. It's golden. It's great. It's a gate. It's there. I want you to think for a moment. If you lived in a gated community, right? Who gets in and out of a gated community? Only people who live there. They got gates to keep you there. Well, the text we just read only has two gates, or two paths, or two roads. You have a decision to make. Door number 1 or door number 2, because there's no door number 3. Oh, by the way, my granddaughter's 3-year birthday was yesterday, the twins. I had a great time. Thank you for asking. It was wonderful. Anyways, that's a side note. That's me just being silly. Understand, as we looked at last week, Jesus is just finishing telling his disciples about the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you have them do to you, which seems a very reasonable way to live your life. But it doesn't seem like that's how people live their lives. Just saying, it doesn't seem like people live that way. Just doesn't. But this is how his disciples are supposed to behave. And our behavior matters. Our behavior really matters. The Sermon on the Mount is really like a primer for Christian behavior. It really is. If you read it all the way through here. The golden rule is sort of like the high point for the Sermon on the Mount. See, we need to understand that this kind of behavior is caught more than taught. Although Jesus is teaching this, right, he's also exemplified this behavior, hasn't he? Very important. He's been like this. So there's a point for us right there. As a Christian, I should exemplify Christ's example, right? Because it's hard to tell people to do unto others as you would have it done to them if you ain't doing it. I said, really? They're going to call you hypocrite. So Jesus is teaching about this narrow way that they've been traveling by, right? Jesus here, he's teaching something, it seems deeper than the law. It really does. You can even think of it as like a new law. Do unto others if you do as they have them do unto you, right? Now, remember last week I was being kind of silly and I was talking about the World Cup. Remember the World Cup? I'm still on World Cup withdrawal, okay? I'm sorry, but I am. I've got to wait a year to the Women's World Cup. But if you remember, in the World Cup, if you watched it this year, you should have. No, you should have. We watched at the end of every game, or the games that I saw the U.S. played, all the players were on the field after the match. They call it a match in soccer, not a game. They're on the field. They were on the pitch, excuse me. After the match, they were on the pitch, and they're going around. And here's what happened in the U.S. When the U.S. was there. They started singing that song, Joanna, I told you, all right? Country Road with John Denver, right? Country Road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. Oh, poor Joanna's dying over there. I love it. Isn't it a great song? That song was about a destination. John Denver was talking about this cool place, West Virginia. It's really beautiful. And it's interesting, beginning of that song, how it starts off. It starts off like this. I noticed this. He says, almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. It's interesting. He says it's almost heaven. He's talking about a destination, isn't it? A road, a path. It's not bad. John Denver's talking about a place, where the good life is, sort of in a manner of speaking on earth. I don't think that's bad. I don't think it's all, right? But Jesus is talking on the Sermon on the Mount about a destination as well. But I want to suggest this about this message, this Sermon on the Mount, and a destination. Every step we take is a destination. You see, you can start thinking about the narrow way, the destination. You think about heaven, right? Every step you take as a Christian. He's speaking to his disciples, folks. And every step a disciple takes is a destination. You impact someone somewhere with every step you take. You need to think that through for a minute. We do. That's what happens. It's really important to get this down, right? We need to see these two gates in the context of what Jesus is teaching, right? Because Jesus has been comparing or contrasting internal behavior versus external behavior throughout this entire sermon up to this point. He really has. So for these two verses, I tried to break it down to just 3 points. You could probably have 33 points. But I said just 2 points. One, the narrow. It talks about the narrow gate. So we want to talk about narrow. We'll talk about choosing the gate and a tight squeeze to get through the gate. What's it all about? I was looking at this, thinking about it. Before I did any of that, I thought maybe, before I run my mouth anymore, we should have a word of prayer. Right? Amen. Lord, I thank you for this day, Lord. I thank you for those that are here, Lord. I pray for the teens as they're off enjoying themselves. I pray for those that have had surgery this week, Lord, that are recovering, that are in physical pain. I pray that we can be a help to those folks and we'll uplift them. But, Lord, I ask for clarity as I try and present your word, Lord, that is so powerful, Lord. Father, please keep my errors to a minimum and let you be glorified in everything I say. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Amen. So I said 3 points, and we're going to start off with the narrow, right? Because narrow is the gate, and difficult is the way which leads to life, and few who find it. Okay, I got you, right? It's a narrow way, it's a gate. Now, what happens is, you get to a place where there's two paths sometimes, right? Path A on the left, it's a broader path, it's nice. Path B is sort of going down the hill into the dark. Do I want to go that way? I don't know. I don't know what's down there. But you know that Broadway, I don't know what's down there either, right? It's a funny thing about that, the Broadway, right? But we need to try and understand here is what is narrow and what is difficult. What is narrow and what is difficult? Is it just like that picture? I don't know. Because we've been going down a road with Jesus with the Sermon on the Mount, right? It's been a long road. I've been at this for a while. Just three chapters, right? If you think of the Sermon on the Mount, you look at it, it's bumpy. It's not smooth. There's twists and turns in it. And it's not been pleasant a lot of the times in a Sermon on the Mount. It's not. There's been some stuff in it that's really not fun. Because remember, Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, he's on the hillside in Galilee speaking to his disciples. And what he's doing, he's shedding light into their lives is what he's doing. How did he do so? And it's kind of bumpy. First thing, what did he do? He says, if you're angry at your brother, it's murder. Do you remember that? Being angry at your brother is murder. Does not sound cool, he says. If you look at a woman other than your wife with lust, that's adultery. Really? That's hard, right? Remember, that you say, oh, that's bad, right? Remember for these people, what would be in their minds? Adulterers could be stoned to death. Hello. It's a big deal. It really is. You're to love your enemies. Don't stone them. Because that's what you did back in the day. You threw stones at your enemies. That's what they did. They didn't have pistols. They threw rocks. That's what people did. They weren't primitive. That was just what they did. Fact of life. Jesus has decried all forms of hypocrisy, hasn't he? And one more thing that Jesus did to pay attention to is he said, you cannot serve mammon and God. You cannot serve money and God. You cannot serve the world and God. You can't do that. You know why? Because that's two roads. You can't do it. You can't go down two roads simultaneously, can you? Just like there's two gates. It can't happen. It can't be done. So narrow, what does it mean? What does it mean, okay? There's a Greek word for it that I won't say because I'm going to mispronounce it because I'm not Greek. Figure that out, right? But if something's narrow, it's tight. It's compressed. It's constrained. It's constracted, all right? Contracted. There's no breathing room, right? It's a tight squeeze. I don't mean like those jeans you used to get into. It's a tight squeeze. No. I mean it's really tight. It's really narrow. But I want to dive down deeper into what this narrow really means. Because later in Jesus' ministry, he comes back to these gates. Sometimes we miss this, okay? In Luke's gospel, before Jesus arrives through the triumphant entry in Luke's gospel for the Passion Week, the gates are brought up again. Jesus uses them because his disciples are speaking to Jesus, right? He says, then one of them said to him, Lord, are there few who are saved? He's questioning, why is only so few saved, right? It's a good question. And Jesus responded. He said to them, strive to enter through the narrow gate, for many, I say to you, will seek to enter it and not be able to. Well, that's some hurtful verses, isn't it? That's hard stuff. But they were asking a question. Think if you're a disciple of Jesus, one of those guys here. They've seen Jesus do miracles. They've heard him speak incredible things. They're saying, Lord, how come aren't more people following? And it's an interesting question. Why aren't more people following? But Jesus says, strive to do this. That word strive, I think, folks, we need to pay attention to. Jesus uses that word, and it really adds emphasis and it accentuates what it means to be narrow or difficult in the first verse, okay? It really does. It's a big deal. To strive. What does it mean to strive? Strive means to contend, as in an athletic competition. Contend with adversaries. To fight, to struggle, to have difficulties and danger. That's what strive is all about. Get down to the meaning of it, that's what striving is. Striving, in essence, right, what it means agonizing. Striving is agony. That's what it is. That's what Jesus is pointing to here, right? It will be agonizing, right, to enter this gate. It's really hard for them. The road's going to be hard. This is not a nice road, drive down along the Shenandoah River, right? Blue Hill Mountains. No. This is going to be a hard road. Think, when you exercise, if you exercise, you should. You should eat well, you should exercise, and you should sleep. You just got the best medical advice that there is in the world. And there's not a doctor that will disagree with me. That's a side note. That's free. But when you work out and you're lifting weights, and you want to max out, right? You don't just want to do 10 reps. You want to go all the way. What happens? At some point, it hurts. It's agony, isn't it? It's pain. It hurts. But what do you get to do then? You drop the weight, right? Boom! And what happens? Agony's gone. Your brain that's in pain has gone back to baseline level. Okay? That's okay. That's agony for you, right? Okay. But that's not what happens, what Jesus is talking about. Going through the narrow gate, there's no relief like that. Not with the agony. Just isn't that way. It just doesn't work out that way. You wish it did, but there isn't, right? Don't you wish sometimes you could just take a break from the world? Put it on hold? You can't, though. The brain keeps going, doesn't it? Even if you stop your body, the brain keeps going, and things need to be dealt with. Because the disciples asked that question. Only a few could be saved. What's this all about? They'd heard all the messages, right? And I want you to think about this, all being saved. Is it really about the gate up front that Jesus is talking about, the narrow gate, going to go through that, right? Because Jesus is teaching to his disciples about a very hard journey they're going to go through their entire life. Their entire life, if you read through this here. Because in some people's minds, the road is too hard to go down. Jesus' road is too hard to go down. It's too narrow, isn't it? Think about it. People say, well, why would I ever want to do that? Because my comforts supersede those of others. I can't do that for them because that would compromise my position, and I would miss out on something. That sacrifice is too big for me to do that for them. That road's too hard. You see, this isn't just about some final destination. This is about the road these disciples need to walk down. The destination is each step they take. Remember what Jesus taught? First thing in the Sermon, he taught up the Beatitudes. Beatitudes were not a good time. They weren't, were they? Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. We're going to start off with persecution. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when you are reviled. I don't use the word reviled too often, do you? Reviled means insulted. Blessed are you when you're cussed out. When they say horrible things. You know, no one likes that. You know, we've tried to, they call me blankety blank, right? But it does bother you a little bit. Blessed are those who are reviled and persecute you. They'll say all sorts of evil things against you falsely for my name's sake. This is the road. That's what you say. They're going to say things falsely about you for my name's sake. That's a hard road to go down, isn't it? To be accused of things falsely? I don't like that. But remember, blessed means to be happy or flourishing, even in agony. There's no hint of relief in the Beatitudes. There's no hint of relief that Jesus is giving us here, is he? Jesus is teaching something very, very spiritual in all this. And it comes down to choosing the gates. What's choosing the gates all about, right? 2 gates are presented. Now, I got to tell you, frankly, I like the broad gate. I know you say, oh, but Pete, there's destruction in that. I like the broad gate, the one that's traveled all the time. You know, if you're going down to the Shenandoah River, to the Blue Ridge Mountains, if the way everyone's going, there's overlooks there to see over everything, right? If you're going on the river, it's really cool. You can drive along the river. It's going to be sweet, right? It's a nice ride. It's not hard. The Broadway is usually good. And I get it. There's destruction at the end of it. But you understand, a life without Christ is a destructive path the entire way as you go down it. It is. Oh, you might not think so because you think you're doing okay, but it's destructive. The Broadway is what the Pharisees have been up to this point. That's what they've been on, right? The Pharisees have been on their best behavior, haven't they? And they ensured that people saw their behavior. That's the important. They want to see my behavior, right? See, the Broadway is very reflective of external behaviors. Remember what Jesus talked about? Giving to be seen, praying to be seen, fasting to be seen, right? To see me as I do all these things. Not to pick on people, let me pick on people. I always get a kick out of Hollywood, don't you? When all of a sudden the Hollywood stars show up at Thanksgiving, and they're giving out turkeys place and meals in places, and the news media's there taking it all in. You know, on November, whatever it is, that Thursday in November, where are they in January, in February? Well, I was on film set doing a movie. Look, I watch Hollywood movies. I don't live in a cave. But it's funny how we get this, because we want to be seen as being a good person. That's what it's like, the external behavior. External behavior done all the time, that's something to strive after, at any rate. That's not beating up on Hollywood, okay? Think about the Promised Land. Think of the Israelites, right? They were on the Exodus journey. It was too hard for them going to the Promised Land, right? They didn't want to take the Promised Land. There was giants there. They would prefer to go back into slavery, didn't they? And later on, during the Exodus journey, after they got across the Jordan River, they went place, at Joshua's death, Joshua made a very public proclamation about choosing the path he was going to go down. He was quite deliberate about it. He said, and if it seems evil to you to serve the Lord, which isn't that, it's a strange statement, and it seems evil to serve God? And some people will make an argument for that. They will. God is so mean. God is so hard. He says if you do this, that'll happen. Well, that's what you do with your children, don't you? Honey, if you do that, you're not going to get this. We make threats to our children, don't we? You need to carry out on them. That's one of the things. I don't mean beat them with a stick. Okay? That's it. Beat them. No. But you need to let your children know if you do this, there is consequences. Aren't there consequences in life? Don't pay your mortgage? That what happens. Don't pay for your car? It don't happen, right? Don't pay your taxes. Look out. You know what's going to happen. At any rate, I digress. I'll stay to the message. Choose for yourselves this day who you will serve, whether the gods of your fathers served that were on the other side of the river, back in Egypt, or the gods of the Amorites in the lands which you dwell. Because now we're in the Promised Land. Are you going to go after the prophets of Baal? He says, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. He was very clear, wasn't he? He spoke out exactly what he was going to travel, what he was going to be doing. It's so important for us to get that down. I don't mean you have to say that I've got to serve the Lord, but my external behavior should be a reflection of what's happening inside of me. It's really important. This term narrow again, let's take it from another perspective. It's associated with suffering due to pressure from circumstances or antagonism from persons. Now we're getting to the context of Jesus' teaching, the antagonisms of persons, right? Remember, Jesus is teaching this to his disciples, saying this is what's going to happen to you. There'll be suffering and pressure on you if you choose the narrow way. Blessed are those who are persecuted, right? That's what he said. Now, persecution and blessing just don't mix well in my mind. It's oil and vinegar. But Jesus is saying that's what it is. And it comes to a knowledge base we need to, an understanding we have to have, I think. Until I understand that being blessed is having the ability to flourish during agony, I'll never get it. But that's what Jesus is getting across to us, because there's going to be agony. There's going to be trials. It's going to get rough. Blessed is being happy. It's so profound. We call it flourishing is what it should be. In 1 Peter, now we've been in 1 Peter on Thursday nights for a while. 1 Peter is a letter written by Peter to Gentile believers in Asia Minor, okay? Paul sort of went through there first. Now Peter writes this letter to them. But he's writing to these people that are suffering. They're Gentile believers, but understand, they're now believers, okay? So they're getting it from all sides, okay? They were Gentiles, so before they worship pagan things. Now they're believers. So their pagan neighbors hate them. The Romans hate everyone. And the Jews would hate them. All three sides, these people, because now they're believers. It's like lose, 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 right? And remember, there's no social protection or anything here. You just got it. But here's what it says here in 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 3 and 4. We have spent enough time of our past lives doing the will of the Gentiles. And I'll tell you what, we have spent enough time of our lives doing what we used to do that we probably are not happy about. And then Peter lays out just what they all are. When we walked in lewdness, lusts, drunkenness, revelries, drunken parties, and abominable idolatries. That's an ugly picture, isn't it? He says, haven't we had enough of this? Haven't we had enough? In regard to these, they think it's strange that you no longer run with them in the same flood of dissipation, speaking evil of you. So because I no longer do those things, I'm a dirtbag. I'm no good. That's what he's saying there, basically, right? When a person's past lifestyle, right, after they come to Christ, the people that I used to run with, they won't understand. Oh, that's cool. You got Jesus now. That's great. Let's go party. Well, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be sober-minded. And I don't just mean sober from not drinking. I mean, I have my mind clear. That's a thing of it. But until your friends enter through that narrow gate that you've gone through, your friends and your family may pressure you, may mock you, and may persecute you for your new lifestyle. Doesn't sound cool, does it? Ever been there? I have. Do you realize that I'm the pastor of this church and no one in my family will even acknowledge that I'm a pastor? No one. No one except my one sister that has Alzheimer's. Think that through for a minute. Your family will do things to you that people on the streets would never do to you, right? I'm not looking for your sympathy. I just want to be, it's a perfect example of what this, how deep this can run. How deep this can run. Friends didn't go through there. So when it all happens, you do this. What you going to do when they come for you? What you going to do when your friends and your family come for you, huh? How are you going to react? Because now you're an affront to them. You think you're better than me. I never said that. Doesn't make any difference, does it? You think you're better than me. You Jesus people. I'm just telling you, right? You'll be reviled. You'll be insulted for being a Christian. That's not easy, is it? Give me a break. How will you endure? How will you respond when they speak evil of you? Because my response when they speak evil of you matters to them, not to me. Do you realize that? It's not about me. How am I going to respond to them? It's a hard road Jesus is trying to get across to his disciples. It's a very hard road. I may suffer for doing this. I have suffered for doing this. I'm okay. Don't I look okay? My back's a little sore. I'm okay. It might hurt when you think of this, right? But I want you to think about this. Someone directed you to Christ. Someone endured potentially your mocking, huh? Someone you may have given some people a really hard time, but they loved you in spite of you. They loved in spite of you. Having lifelong friends potentially berate you and dismiss you is hard to bear. And he even speaks about in the book of Psalms. For it is not the enemy who reproaches me, I could bear it. My enemy's beating on me, I understand that. Nor is the one who hates me, who has exalted himself against me, I could hide from him. That's okay, I can deal with that. These people, they hate me, okay? But But it was you. It was you, my equal, my companion, my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together. We walked to the house of God in the throngs. Doesn't that hurt? Right? Someone who loves you, been with, they now are against you. It's a hard road Jesus is talking about. This will happen. It doesn't something that people say, then I don't want to be a Christian. Well, then you won't be one. But I'm just saying, this is just what Jesus is laying out for us, right? It's what's there. It's just hard. It's a reality of what Jesus has taught to us. Here's a question to ask yourself, though. Remember, any question I ask you, I've asked myself during the week. The message is a kind of personal. The message a lot of times are framed around me. You just happen to have to listen to it. Here's a question to ask yourself. Did my profession of faith cost me anything? Choosing the gate. Did it cost you anything? It might have. Was it worth it? You need to ask yourselves that question, right? Because many people who trust in Christ never leave the broad road with respect to their appetites and their associations. Okay? They have an easy Christianity that makes no demands on them, right? They don't. Generosity is not a priority. I got bills to pay. I'm not worried about it. Giving to the church, that's a nice thought. But, I need a bigger car. I need a bigger house. See, easy Christianity gets there, right? There's two gates and there's two paths, and I cannot walk down both of them. Doesn't work that way. It's a narrow way. Guess what? It's a tight squeeze. Third point. I'm getting there. I'm finishing up. The tight squeeze. There's a spelunker, cave guy going through a cave, going through a tight squeeze, isn't he? Right? Those rocks are pressing in on him. Okay, the rocks don't press in. What happens is when these guys go through those rocks, they breathe in and it makes themselves narrow to inch their way through like an inchworm. But it feels like the rocks are going. That is an insane picture to me. I saw that. That's why I gave it to you, because it scared me. People do this. This is a narrow way. This is a tight squeeze, okay? And I can't bring any baggage with me as going through a tight squeeze, can I? Do you think he's bringing anything that baggage with him? I don't think so. The way of salvation is remarkably easy, but it's not designed to be comfortable. Do you ever think of that? Jesus just said the narrow way is hard. Don't we love comforts? I love the AC today. It's a little chilly. Kath's got her jacket on. I don't blame her. It gets a little chilly. I'm up here running my mouth. I'm warm. But we love our comforts, don't we? We sure do. But we can give nothing, nor can we give up nothing at all that will earn us entrance to heaven. That's the thing of it. If we hold on to forbidden things, there's no way to get through the narrow. You can't get through there with it, right? You won't get through. That's the point. You can't. The way is hard. The Spirit that I want to reside in me cannot thrive or survive in my heart if my heart does not belong to God. That's what it comes down to. The Spirit doesn't come in and come out of you. The Spirit's in you or not in you. That's what it is. Saying I love Jesus is just words in this world, right? That's mammon and God. Oh, I love Jesus and I love these things. The baggage I want to bring with myself. See, these verses in this Sermon on the Mount, right? They're an exhortation to the way of life that we're to live. And it's not to be seen, right? What did Jesus say? He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except by me. John 14:6. The way is narrow. No one else can fill it. You cannot substitute any other name other than the name of Jesus in there. I am the way, the truth, and the life. You can't put in Buddha. You can't put in Muhammad. You can't put in the Dalai Lama. Anyone. You can't put in Pete. You can't put in you. He is the way, the truth, and the life. The way. And it's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes. Because we want to bring a backpack with us. All of our stuff. All the stuff. That guy with that backpack, that guy there, he's the rich young ruler. Do you remember the rich young ruler Jesus met with? Matthew 19. I love the story of the rich young ruler. He comes to Jesus wearing a backpack. I know it doesn't say it in the message, but trust me, he had a backpack. And he comes to Jesus, he says, good teacher, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And Jesus says, Why do you call me good? Only God is good. Side note, I think that's a wonderful line. Isn't it a beautiful, subtle way of Jesus defining his deity? You call me good? Only God's good. Dude, you're calling me God. It's kind of an interesting thing. I love that little line. I get excited about it. I get excited. Remember it. You'll be excited about it. I hope. And now, folks, I want to tell you right now, coming in and searching, asking out how to have eternal life, I don't think that's a bad thing. That's a great thing. I think it'd be great to come up here next Sunday and say, sorry, folks, I didn't have time to put a message in because these people kept coming to the side door of the church all week long wanting now to have eternal life. And I just met with people all day long. I'm toast. Can we just pray and go home? Wouldn't that be cool? No room in the pews, just, jamming. It would be great, right? But that's not necessarily what happens. Not at all. See, we become so hyper-focused on the comfortable life, right? That's what we do. But Jesus and this young ruler, they're discussing the commandments, the 10 commandments. The young man, he was so forthcoming, wasn't he? It was really cool. He said, I kept them all, but I'm still lacking. That's what he says. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. He was being honest. And I don't mean that kind of sarcastic honest. Some people say, well, at least I'm being honest, right? About something they did. I don't prefer that. If you do that to me, you might get sarcastic Pete thrown back at you. There's a whole lot of them in there still. But at any rate, see, he knew in his heart that keeping the law itself wasn't cutting it. He was lacking. He had never read in Galatians where it says the law was but a tutor to get us to Christ. He didn't know that yet, but he did. He did. He knew in his heart that was there. He knew he lacked. And Jesus told him what he needed. He said to him, if you want to be perfect, go. Sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasures in heaven, and come follow me. Ah, so beautiful. That word perfect there, that's a Greek word teleos. It means complete. Like be perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect. Be complete. It's just the way we translate it. This young man was incomplete. Being complete doesn't, it's in Christ, folks. It's not about how we look or do and all our physical things. It's not anything to do with that. He lacked completeness. He was going down the wrong path. And he wasn't boastful as much as he was blinded, right? The rich man's life, though, regardless, the fact he's blind, it was much more reflective of the Pharisees than we think, okay? I get it. They were hypocritical about giving and prayer and fasting. I get it. But he wasn't being a hypocrite like that, but he was being blind. It doesn't make any difference. Claiming to strive after God, but not submitting to God is hypocrisy. Think about that for a minute. Let it sit in. That's like in the 10 Commandments, taking the Lord's name in vain. To take means to uplift and do these things. Isn't that what the Pharisees are doing? Lifting God's name up and doing these things, but they were doing it in vain. It's a serious thing. When we say take, we know when people use the Lord's name in vain, they say Jesus Christ this. And the biggest funny side, say, people will say for Christ's sake, which I find the most bizarre thing to say. For Christ's sake, Christ doesn't need your sake, but people will say this, right? So bizarre. I wouldn't think of it as being blasphemy and in vain, and it is. But it goes much deeper. It's really lifting up God's name, being a hypocrite about it. It's a really serious thing to do, and people do it. I pray when I'm up here, I don't do it. I get scared of doing that. I get scared of doing that. See, our behavior really matters, folks. It really does. Well, so what's the upshot of all this? What's the conclusion this young ruler's reached? It's the same conclusion we all need to reach. The end of verse 14. You will know them by their fruits. Our external behaviors, we will be known by them. It's a reflective of what's on the inside, isn't it? Huh? Know by fruits. Didn't he have the opportunity to bear great fruit? Right? Jesus said, oh, it was my little cute look at the Good Life cartoon guy, right? Isn't that a Good Life cartoon? He's so cute. See, look at the Good Life guy there, right? He's not carrying anything, is he? No backpack, no anything, and he's smiling. He could get through the narrow way real easy in a manner of speaking, couldn't he, right? No baggage. The good life. This is the life that Jesus is pointing him to. It's so important for us to get this down. Because there is no room for baggage. This is what we have to have in our minds. What did Jesus say? Give it all away. Just give it away. Give it to the poor. And what did he say? Let's hit the road. Be my disciple. Let's sleep under the stars. Give up all that security, the things you're putting in life. Trust me and let's go. But he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Because narrow is the gate and difficult the way that leads to life, and there's few who find it. Isn't that hard? Think of it. He was before Jesus. Few who find it. See, verses 13 and 14, as we hit these verses, folks, this is not some seismic shift in Jesus' message, okay, that's turned to fire and brimstone, believe or burn. And people will preach it that way. I understand about a broad way and a narrow way. I understand about getting to heaven, okay? But Jesus is speaking to his disciples about the reality of their walk as they go through life and how hard it will be. That's what he's doing. Read it in context. It's so important. There's few who find it. Not because they did not hear the truth of Jesus Christ. It's because they did not want it. It's because it was too hard. It was too hard. People did not want to endure what Jesus was saying. It's really hard, isn't it? That's a hard thing to hear. It's a hard thing for us to hear as we reflect on ourselves. What's too hard for me to do today? What's too hard for you to do today? Those are individual decisions we didn't make in our lives as we do this. That verse that I read at the entrance is so important. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not in your own understanding. And always acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Who's directing your path today? What path are you going down? What kind of gate are you headed for? It's important. It's going to be hard. Jesus didn't lie to us. He didn't hide anything. He said there's going to be disappointments. People will let you down. You'll have broken relationships. People that you trusted might go away. What are you going to do? Who are you going to turn to when they're all there? This is what I would think for us. It's hard. It really is. People in your lives will pass away. Folks, if I lost my wife, what am I going to do? Go live in a cave? You come get me if I do, right? Because I probably will for a while. Will you understand this? We need to truly believe that God can, will, and does direct our paths. But it's going to be hard. Get ready for it. There'll be some agony. But you can flourish in all this. This Sermon on the Mount, don't take it just a verse at a time. Matthew chapter 5, read all the way through 7. It's foundational to your life. Let's pray. Lord, I thank you for this day, Father. I thank you for your goodness to us, Lord. We have these gates. Oh, Lord, there's so much more you can delve into these gates, Lord. We could stay in this for hours. But, Lord, I thank you for the gates. I thank you for warning us, Lord, ahead of time. The way is going to be hard. And it is at times. It's not hard today, Lord. We're here worshiping. Right now, it's a piece of cake. But, Father, when we walk out of here, and whether it's family or friends, those that might betray us, how we react is so important, Lord. Thank and praise you for your goodness and your grace that you've shown us, Lord. But thank you that you would send your only begotten Son to the cross for us, Lord. Let us remember that when insulted, reviled, in your name. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.